All right, we are live. Welcome, everyone, to another edition of Deconversion Stories. Today, I'm chatting with Michael. Michael. See, I was so hung up on spelling your name wrong earlier.
Dude, that's
now
okay.
It's just like at the forefront of my head.
People do it all the time. It's really okay.
It's Ethan Micheal.
Ethan Micheal.
Who's also known as your friendly neighborhood atheist. And I have links to his channel below. So go and check that out. And also, if you dig what he does there, there's a link to his Patreon down there as well. So you can help support.
Thank you.
And you can stalk him on Twitter, follow him on Twitter if you want. And I've got a link for his Facebook group as well, the Your Friendly Neighborhood Atheist.
I do need more Twitter followers.
Do you?
Yeah, I could use a few more. It would help.
I hear if you bribe people, it works.
I'm not paying people to do that.
I'm just kidding. I didn't do it. Nope, I didn't do it.
Wait, did you?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. Anyways, Ethan, what I do is I chat with people about their journeys away from their previous belief systems, whatever they may be, whether it's religious or I even spoke to a guy who will be coming on who is an ex-white supremacist. So
I've always wanted to speak to one of those.
Yeah, well, maybe I'll pass them your way after. But it's definitely it'll be an interesting conversation, that's for sure. Anyways, so this isn't about that guy though. Today it's about you. So why don't you sort of take us back, to the days when you were a believer, and kind of the stumbling or the not stumbling blocks, but the dominoes started to fall that led you away from it and becoming the activist that you are today.
Well, that's a really big story. Well, not really. I talk fast. But first, Neil, I do just want to thank you for having me on.
My pleasure.
That's very nice of you because I'm very new to this. So, there's a branch of trust that goes out, and I appreciate you giving me the opportunity.
Hey, man, it's all about showcasing people. It's all about getting these stories out there because there's always going to be people out there that are on the fence or have doubts.
Yes.
And they don't realize that there's a community of us out there that are ready to throw down the mattress so they can jump off that fence on the right side of the fence, right? So,
well, and I don't know
for them.
I don't know if you saw this right beforehand, but someone said they've never seen a happy atheist before. I was like,
"Oh, the grumpy, yeah."
I was like, I know plenty of happy atheists.
Show. Yeah. Yeah, you definitely haven't seen my show. That's for sure. If they think we're grumpy, I think it's just a salty theist.
You're
pretty much.
Could be. Hopefully not. Hopefully that person's watching, and hopefully you and I can change that person's mind.
That would be interesting and be good. Yeah, I think they're just somebody had posted what was it? A bunch of white guys talking about religion.
Old white guys talking about religion. I'd rather watch paint dry.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
Well, I've never had a comment like that on one of my posts. It's like, really, you don't have to watch,
Right.
So I don't know why you felt you had to leave a comment like that. Whatever floats your boat, man.
Yeah, I don't get it, but whatever. Okay,
exactly.
So you want to know what I was like when I was a believer, correct?
Well, yeah, like take us back to that point where you were a believer, how things were for you then, and what started you away from it. Like, what was some of the first dominoes that fell that led you on the path to getting out of your belief system?
So let's just say, growing up, I read a lot of Limbaugh letters. I watched a lot of Fox News. I was very, very convinced that the right side was the correct side to be on, and I thought atheists were idiots. Like I made.
Well, some of us are, I guess.
No, I thought all of them were. I'm like, atheist. I made all those comments. Atheists just believe in nothing. Like, it's like,
which isn't a real thing,
right? And it's just looking back, it's like, come on, man, this is embarrassing. Don't. But
don't haunt yourself with the past, man. Let it go.
So yeah, I was, I guess you could say indoctrinated more into conservatism, where Christianity is also rooted. So believing was just expected. I did go to a Catholic school from 6th through 8th grade, and contrary to popular belief, it was actually like the best school I ever went to.
Oh, you didn't have nuns whacking you with rulers and
no.
Stuff? Okay.
I had my first. Oh wait, I can plug a name. I had my first atheist experience at that age. So I want to be clear. I was only saying I was an atheist to rile them up. I wasn't actually an atheist,
Right?
Which is kind of funny looking back on it. But
because now you're in that camp.
Yes, but I had said it in class, and my buddy is like, "Dude, you can't say that here. You'll get kicked out." And I am now mortified because I liked this school, and I was freaking out. And next thing I know, I'm getting called to the principal's office in front of Sister D, and I am just, I'm sweating bullets, terrified out of my mind. Because
that would have been handy if you had a gun, because then you could have taken them all out.
Yeah, it was.
I'm not promoting shooting up schools, people. It's just a joke.
I was mortified, especially because I had bounced around my entire life, like from school to school to school. Like I even lived in Mexico for about a year of my life. Mm. So, and I ramble. If I ramble too much, feel free to just, whip me back into place. So I totally lost my train of thought.
Well, you were at the school in the principal's office sweating bullets, which is why I made the gun joke. And
yes. Okay. Yeah. So I was freaking out. I didn't want to get kicked out of school. And Sister D sits me down and she's like, "Hey, do you know why you're here?" And I was like, "No." And she's like, "I think you know why you're here." And I was like, "Well, yeah." She goes, "Are you an atheist?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm sorry, Sister D." And instantly she's like, it's okay. Why do you feel that way? And I just said, "I don't know." And she said, "All right, well, feel free to go back to class." And I was like, "Wait, I'm not in trouble?" And she replied with, "No, you're not in trouble at all. It's okay. You can go back to class." And
we just have to figure out ways of reconvincing you.
I was lucky. A lot of people have horror stories, but I literally don't have one from Catholic school. It was great. And it was actually leaving that Catholic school that was jarring and shocking.
Sure,
for me.
It was a Catholic school?
It was.
I'm starting to doubt that it was a Catholic school.
St. Andrews in Romeoville, Illinois.
Hmm.
So, yeah, it was definitely Catholic. But even the priest talked about Star Wars during service. So it was not your normal Catholic school.
Sexy nuns in the office. Yeah, I know where this is going.
So I identified though as a Christian for a large majority of my life. And it started with, I would always listen to the same news, and someone said, "You have to get another perspective," and just kept repeating that to me. So I started by turning on a more liberal station and listening to them. And I sat there hearing it with my conservative ears, angry the entire time, like, "Oh, this. And slowly it opened up, like kind of like relaxed me a little bit. And before I knew it, I had stumbled across the Atheist Experience. And I saw this guy, Matt Dillahunty, talking. And at first, I was like, "This guy's such a dick. Why is he talking to people like this?" Like, it was like shocking to me to hear this thing. But the more I listened to him, I'm like, okay, this guy's actually not a dick. He's just making points. And it started to like loosen my mind up, especially when it got to the point that he had said, "I don't know is not a reason to believe in God." And it was literally like after that I was like, I have been doing that my whole life, because I never got into like the prayer side of it. Like, sure, I prayed, but I never got into the get on your knees and beg.
Thanks, Sir Thomas Lipton, if that's your real name.
I don't think it is.
I appreciate it. One of these days, Google will actually give me my money too. So,
wait, you're not getting paid for this?
Mm-hmm. They're hoarding it until I manage my AdSense accounts, because I used to have one on a different channel, and they're saying, "Well, you haven't gotten rid." I said I canceled that one a long fucking time ago, so I got to call them or something and deal with it so that they can actually set it up for this account. And actually,
you should take
I'll
care of
actually
that.
they're holding. They've got like 300 something bucks for me sitting there. So
Hey, it's $300.
yeah, I know. Yeah, eventually, I'm just I'm not really that worried about it. But eventually, I'll get it. I'll get it taken care of. Carry on.
I got to remember where I left off. ADHD brain, it goes all over the place. Seriously.
Well, you said you weren't. You never really.
Oh yeah, I never got into. Sorry,
whatever.
I never got into worship. The worship side of it, like it just didn't make sense to me. So when people sang in church, I would just be like, okay, and I would hum along, but I didn't understand it, and so for me, it was actually really easy to just let it go and not care anymore. I would say the hard part came in with accepting that I would never see my brother again. That was probably the biggest stepping stone.
Right.
But, when I accepted I wouldn't see him again, it was like I was able to appreciate all the times I had with him much more.
Yeah, for sure.
So I would say, though, the harder part came in removing the conservative indoctrination side. That took many, many steps.
So the religious part was easy enough to kick to the curb.
It was surprisingly very easy. And I at many times forget how grateful I am, because when I hear other people's stories of hell and waking up in nightmares from hell, and I'm like, well, wow, like that sounds horrible. And I can't imagine that, because that never happened to me. So it was, but I will say it was, at least I attribute it to becoming an atheist. I feel like I became a better person because I let all that BS go and just started more or less loving people, as hippie and cheesy as that sounds.
I'm the one with the hippie hair.
Yeah.
I get it. It's okay.
I guess how widespread should I go? Should I stick within the realms of atheism?
Do whatever. You can talk about whatever you want, man. This is your story. You can tell it however the hell you want.
Okay, so I guess going into the atheist activist side, I have always been a outspoken person for anything I stand for, mainly because at a very young age, my mother always hammered in me that no matter the odds, you stand up for what you believe in, and you should not keep quiet if you see something you don't believe in happening.
Sure.
And that extended to every aspect, saving someone in a physical altercation, standing up against bullies. Like, you just have to stand up. And so it was almost like a natural progression for me. But I could say the biggest delay in me becoming an activist were my medical issues, which literally just robbed me of my brain and robbed me of my happiness. So after my brother passed, I sunk into a really bad depression, and my life just quickly went down. And I am in the middle of DJing one night, and I was DJing a benefit show, and next thing I know, I wake up in an ambulance. I had a seizure in the middle of my DJ show. And I had never had one before. It literally, they're like, "Have you had this before?" They start asking me all these questions, and I'm like, no, I don't know what happened. I developed epilepsy. And next thing I know, I am going on medication after medication. I am getting absent seizures daily. I'm spacing out. I can't keep up with time. It was bad. And the amount of medication, like for instance, the doctor put me on Keppra first, and then she increased that dosage, and then she increased it again until I was up to like 1,500 milligrams twice a day.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Then they added in oxycarbazepine, and that started at 300 milligrams and went up to 600 twice a day. And then after that was lamotrigine, and it was just, and that made my stomach worse. So then they started putting me on stomach medication. I was on antidepressants. I was on ADHD medication. It was just literally, I had to get injections into my stomach. I ballooned up like significant. I gained about 60 to 70 pounds.
Wow.
I was just, I'll show you a picture after the show. I became a walking zombie. Like I had just, there was just nothing there. I was literally just trying to get through the day every single day. And,
yeah, but with that many drugs in your system, it's not surprising that you were like that.
yeah, no, it sucked. And medical marijuana, which I hope that's okay to talk about, is what got me off of all that shit.
Marijuana? Oh,
And
no, don't bring in the devil's lettuce here, pal.
you never know. I have met some atheists who are like, what, you use marijuana? And they like eye roll you for it. It's like, what?
It's okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm in Canada. It's legal.
Oh, dude, you're so lucky. Well, I guess I'm lucky because it's medical, but you're lucky that it's
I ate all my medical stuff. They had gummy worms with the CBD.
Gummies are good. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, so CBD and medical marijuana is literally what got me off all that shit. And
cool.
It was during that period though that I was surprisingly able to become an atheist. Like, even though my brain wasn't functioning, I guess it was functioning enough to realize like I was doing something wrong. So as my energy came back, as Christians would say it, as my soul came back, I got reinvigorated with my life again. I was back to being the happy, go lucky person I was before.
That you are now too.
Yeah, exactly. And then it was just like, okay, cool. Now I get to do this. And it was just, I was struggling for a while though, because there was my angry atheist phase, which I think many of us in America have at least had.
Angry atheist phase. It usually looks like this.
Oh no, I had one. I was like, anyone who disagreed with atheism, I was just like a friggin' like,
yeah, you're wrong.
Yes. Like, come on. You see how good this is over here? Like, I was not a good representation. I was such an asshole.
It definitely is a better life, people. I bought this a while ago. It's got Matt Dillahunty's in here. And Dawkins and everyone talking about, Penn and Teller.
I love Penn and Teller.
The atheist books. And even Matt Dillahunty, Tracy Harris are in here. And Julia Sweeney, who follows me on Twitter. FYI.
I will say Tracy Harris, I would love to talk to her sometime.
Sure.
I've seen so much of her stuff and just a big fan.
Well, she's no longer doing the show. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know she's not longer doing it.
Okay. Yeah.
Doesn't mean I wouldn't want to talk to her. Then again, I do like talking to everybody. So.
Yeah, no worries.
I like what Doorknob said. Angry atheist phase happens due to a lack of Snickers bars.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. You're hangry. The hangry atheist.
Yeah. So eventually, once like my happy-go-lucky side wrapped around my atheist side, it was just like I finally.
That sounds pervy.
I didn't think about it like that, but yeah, it does.
Oh, that's where my mind always goes. Right into the gutter.
Good, we're on the same page then.
Yeah, baby, yeah.
I'm always hesitant because I'm like, oh, I know how.
No. It's all good. On my show, anything fucking goes.
Yeah, but I know the day's gonna come where I'm gonna offend somebody because sometimes I blurt some shit out. So
I'll let you in on a little secret.
Yes.
Offense is usually taken and not necessarily always given. So you could say something that might offend somebody, but that's a them thing, not a you thing. Because you're not going to say something with the intent to offend somebody unless you actually are going out with the intent to offend somebody.
That's
So
true.
don't worry about that. All right. You can't please 100% people 100% of the time. So don't even try.
Well, that's true. Although I do try. No.
I gave up that a long time ago.
No,
I'm not really all that offensive in the general anyways. And I've never seen you be all that offensive in the general anyways. So I wouldn't even worry about it.
You go to my Facebook page like 5 years ago, you'll find some offensive shit.
Okay, well, I'm not going there.
Yeah, dude. Again, conservative, right wing. Everyone, I think, would have an idea of the type of shit that came out of my mouth.
Oh well, I can imagine.
Yeah,
As long as now you realize that it was all wrong.
dude. I roast myself all the time because I mean I still roast myself for being an idiot now, but I was an idiot back then, and I think that's why I have sometimes I am less patient with some right wings because I feel like I know how they think, and I just want to like find that little in to get through to them.
There you go.
Best name
Kristen's being offensive.
I would literally never want to offend Best Name ever. Like that would actually, I even told her that I'm like, if I ever disappoint you, I'm going to feel horrible because she's so nice.
She's one of the best of us. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I didn't mean to give you attention. Best Name. I retract. I retract the credit.
No, she's all at home like, oh my God. Sorry, Kristen. You know we're only poking fun. We love you. All right, sorry, I distracted you again.
No, please distract away because otherwise I ramble. And when I ramble, I literally feel Puck sitting in front of his computer going like this because he does that to me a lot. I frustrate him.
What does this mean? Get cookies straight? I don't know what that means. Tons of mice. I have no idea what it means. If you're talking about edible cookies, I can get those too. They're huge, and I get them for like $5. So,
yeah, I have no idea what that means.
Hey, I'm down with that. Cookies too.
Puck said he's already face palming right now.
Is he?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I'm sorry, Puck.
Try not to hurt yourself, Puck. Hides in my box. The Slytherin. Oh, Shelterin. Oh, it's Shelterin. I thought that said Slytherin. Going, you joined the wrong house. Hey, Puck, you can puck off. I mean, did I just say that? Like he's never heard that before.
I was watching the Puck after party, and I was like, oh, it should have been called the Puckin' after party.
Oh, Cookie's a nickname. Get Cookie straight. I see. Cookie's a nickname for Kristen. I got you.
I did not know. How many nicknames do you have?
Don't even ask me how many I have. You ever seen those people whip out those gigantic scrolls?
Yeah. I get that.
Thanks, sweet. Cheers. No, just try not to laugh too much and blow that sternum up.
What kind of beer are you drinking?
Oh, this is just a local brewery one. Well, not local. They're actually in Clearwater, and it's called Caribou Blonde Ale. Mm. It's a 6%. It's not super high alcohol, but I try to stay relatively sober when I'm doing these interviews until the after party. Then I just start knocking them back, and it piles up. Mikey, shots. I don't do shots, honestly.
Really?
Nope, I don't do shots.
I don't
shots
drink.
Are dangerous. I will hurt people if I do shots. That's the problem.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Dude, I just get a little bit more ridiculous. But I don't really drink.
I like drinking.
Yeah.
Beer.
When I do drink,
and a really good scotch.
I can't do it.
Shot of water to open up the flavor, and the smoothest shit is awesome. Oh, no. I can put you on the scotch. You'll be going, holy crap, I can't believe I haven't tried this before.
Well, I've had Blue Label. I don't know if...
Yeah, it's a blended, buddy. You got to go single malt.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, I know nothing about whiskey, but I'm a Patron guy, so
Yeah.
that's the way to go. At least for me.
No worries, man. Everyone's got their thing.
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
So I got questions for you.
Yeah.
Going to the Catholic school, did you go to like a college afterwards, and was it a religious college?
No. So after Catholic school, I was just a regular school, not in a very good neighborhood. And then I went to college after that, College of DuPage in Naperville. I don't know why I'm giving locations. I went there, and then I moved on to Robert Morris, and then I was just like, yeah, this is not for me, and I gave it up.
We mix Christianity. I agree, Knock. I agree. Have you had Knock on your channel yet, Ethan?
No, I haven't.
The Raging Atheist? The Raging Atheist. He hulks out and shit on camera. So
really?
Well, not really, but you should get him on your
Well,
show.
I know, not really.
He's good people. Sorry, I was watching Avengers Assemble cartoons before we went live. So.
Oh, I love the intro theme to that. Dun, 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 dun. I love that theme. Are you an MCU nerd?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Same. One of the reasons I bought Disney Channel. Disney
really?
Plus, whatever. Yeah.
I love the MCU.
Star Wars and National Geographics, 3 of my favorite things right there. Anyway.
So, college, I was just like, yeah, this is not for me. Although I probably should have stuck with it. But I was fortunate enough to learn some computer stuff and get an IT job. So it kind of worked out.
Cool. Very cool. What about your family? Are they fairly religious?
They are definitely Christian. My mom still attributes my atheism and more left of center views to liberal propaganda and my brother dying. That's the reason I'm an atheist. And I'm like,
really?
Yes. And she, no matter how hard I try, and I explain it to her, like, one, do you know how condescending that is? You're attributing the work I went through and everything I looked into to just my brother dying. Like, no, I worked hard to become to get over to this side. Or it's not a side, but to just get away from that side.
It's a position.
Yes,
it's an existence, a state of being. You're an atheist. I don't believe in deities. Deal with it.
Yes,
it's like don't try to say I'm mad at God or
I got that too.
I never believed enough or wasn't praying hard. Like fuck off, idiot stick. I don't buy the crap. All right. So hey, what's up, Andy? Laughing in disbelief, one of Chris's co-hosts.
Awesome!
The Daily, right? So, yeah.
Which I'm on there every Thursday.
Aw.
Yes, that was. Thank you, best name. I am good though. I appreciate it, and I could say this. So I have 2 brothers. One who is passed with us. One of them is also an atheist, and if Brent was still here, I would hate to tell my mom this, but he would be an atheist too.
You don't want to tell her that though, right?
No, because she has the image of him in this perfect of how he is, and she's formed these opinions of him, and we just got to leave those be.
Yeah, for sure. Shit, I can't do the editing until after the video. I just realized the placard I made or the thumbnail I made for this still has the other way I was spelling.
Dude, I really don't care.
I fixed it in the name. I fixed it in the name, but no, it doesn't match. So no, I'm going to fix it afterwards.
I really don't care. It's okay.
No, I do. That's my OCD kicking in.
Okay, cool.
It's gotta be right. I'm going to start pulling my hair out and making little hairballs and putting spells on them so they come to life and eat. I don't know where the fuck I'm going with that. But
I would say so. Yeah, my entire family is definitely not overly Christian, but definitely like you believe in God. My grandma was the first one that came around and just didn't care. Was like, okay, well, I still love you, honey, so it's okay. Like she really could give less of a shit. Like
yeah, well, doesn't really affect her.
No. And what she'll always say to me, are you happy? Yes. Okay, then that's good with me. Like I would argue that I have the most supportive grandmother on the planet. Like, she is.
Sounds like a gem.
I call her my Bama, and she is a superhero. She literally
big red cape with a G on it.
She should have one. Like, this woman doesn't look a day over 50, but she's 79, and she still helps coach kids gymnastics. Like, what grandma does that? No more gummies.
Sad
no.
Sad
Definitely gummies.
Like that's gonna happen. my buddy's grabbing me another bag of like 50 of the regular 25 milligram gummy bears.
I wonder if Best Name Ever has had. I meant to ask her that if she has ever had those before. You don't have to answer in the comments. You can. She
mentioned she wanted to try them, and yeah, it was CBD oil. I mean, it doesn't fuck you up for good, but it sure makes your body kind of get a little buzz. And if you've got aches and pains, it'll help with that. It's good like that. And yes, Mark, I realize with my hair, they can go bigger, and don't feed them after midnight either.
So wait, you get a body buzz from CBD? Because I've actually never gotten one from it.
Yeah. Or a little bit in the head, a little bit in the body, and then whatever aches and pains I had, you had thrown up head. No capes. Superheroes should wear capes. Yeah, that's an old argument.
No, but
tell that to Batman, one of the coolest fucking superheroes ever.
Yes. Although,
and then there's Spider-Man, who doesn't have one, and he's the other coolest.
Yeah, he is. Well, I wouldn't say the coolest, but one of the coolest. And despite popular belief,
I agree.
No, my favorite superhero, based on my name, your friendly neighborhood atheist, is not Spider-Man.
I was going to ask you that too. I'm glad that you picked that up. So that was going to be towards the end of the discussion. I had that one all cocked and loaded and ready to go. You just blew it for me, Ethan. What the hell?
We can redo it at the end, and we'll make it a
show's over. We'll act like we weren't talking about it before. Oh yeah, so no, I figured that as soon as I saw that name that you had there anyway, so you were at least a comic book fan, because nobody would know to use that unless they were, right?
Well,
so who's your favorite Marvel?
It's a tie between Captain America and Iron Man.
Oh, such a
what?
The Boy Scout and the egotist with the machine outer body.
They're like the perfect superhero. They really are.
Sorry, but he's right.
Okay,
Wolverine is awesome, and so is Deadpool and Spider-Man. They're my three favorites.
I love all of them. But all right, so I guess here, let's go back. Are we talking the MCU movies, or are we talking cinematic universe?
Leave the movies out of it. Just the DC universe, the Marvel universe for the comics.
Okay, if we're talking comics only, then I'm going to go with Wolverine and Batman. Okay. Wolverine for Marvel.
Batman for DC.
Yes.
Definitely cool. Yeah, Batman is definitely awesome. And I really like Constantine, too.
Yes, Constantine is awesome. Yeah. But if we're talking movies, it's Iron Man and Cap all the way.
Iron Man and Cap? Well, they got a good chemistry and stuff, so.
I did, however, find or recently figure out one of the times when I was high, because this is where my mind goes, the one block in my brain I can't get rid of. And it is, I don't want Captain America to ever be an atheist. I don't know. I have no rational reason to explain that. None whatsoever. But I just don't want him to be an atheist. Like, I don't know why.
I don't think they ever really go into whether or not he's anything.
No, but he does have his godlike comments. Or, there's only one God, ma'am, is what he says. Like, it's just like,
Yeah, I suppose so. That's true.
So it would just be
Captain
weird.
America, that's not true. There's literally hundreds of thousands of them. Well, at least once it had been proposed throughout our history, anyways.
Yes.
Hinduism alone's got like a bazillion deities, so
yeah, I've lost count.
Yeah, my favorite's Hanuman. Fuck any monkey god's good with me.
I see, and here's where I will say I do several atheist YouTube content creators a disservice. I am so behind on what I know on religion, like largely behind, which drives Yes. And it drives. Okay. For those of you who haven't seen Puck, please check him out on Neil's channel. He did his deconversion story like a week ago.
Yeah.
He's also on my channel. And Puck is like, in this,
Wealth
I mean,
of knowledge.
yes, but you got to understand, like he helps me out so much. Like a lot of what I've done, despite of what he'll say, he's helped me. Like he's opened a few Rolodexes, so to speak, to get me in the door. So although he, for some reason, won't admit it and keeps saying, I don't do anything, he helps me out a lot.
Favorite anime superhero? I would have to say One Punch Man.
Goku!
No.
Goku. Dragon Ball Z. Goku. I've got...
One Punch Man could kick his ass.
No, he couldn't. No, he couldn't.
Oh, yes,
Goku always finds a way. Always.
Yeah.
Always.
Okay, Goku or Superman?
Okay, so I guess... All right, are we including...
Okay, the baddest ass version of Goku versus the baddest ass version of Superman.
I'm going to have to go
they're
with
both
Goku.
pretty much on par.
Yes.
So
I would have to go with Goku. He's got the instant transmission, and he's got the... Superman doesn't have instant transmission.
Oh, which, really?
Yes. He can
he can fly around the world in a split second.
So can Goku. But Goku... So there's a difference. They can both fly at a rapid speed, but Goku, in addition, has instant transmission, which bounces him from one spot to another. I'm sorry. Yeah. You brought up Dragon Ball Z. I'm sorry.
That's fine. It's fine. Superman is, in my opinion, Superman is more superior than Goku.
I will say, though,
Goku's gullible, and Superman could easily trick him into doing something.
That's true.
Goku has got a lot of naivety to him.
He does, but he also almost always wins.
Yeah, fair enough, but it's his storyline, so that's to be expected.
All right, that's true.
You know what I got to say, though? I say the one hero that can pretty much take out any hero from any universe, given enough preparation time, is fucking Batman.
Batman, yes. We are agreed there. All he needs is the time, and he will take anyone out.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And I mean, he would easily take out Goku, because Goku would just fall for whatever Batman was doing. I will say so.
Goku needs to charge up for 4 episodes. Yeah, he's got to eat like 900 bowls of ramen.
Yeah. That's true, but the charging up is the fun part. But, okay. Can you really, let me ask you this. Could you really argue that the world wouldn't be a better place if everybody thought like Goku? Or Superman?
I couldn't argue that. They've got great attitudes. So how could I argue against that?
Well, good. We agree.
Goku's a happy-go-lucky, just don't piss him off kind of guy.
Right.
Same with Superman, really.
That's true. Yeah, I do. I love them both.
Actually, I'd say Shazam's probably more so because he's still a little kid inside.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
I'd say Shazam's more like Goku.
Which Superman, though?
Well, which
movie Superman's your favorite?
Or which movie Superman?
Yeah.
Well, of course, I was at the theater for the original airing of the first one that ever went in with Christopher Reeves.
One of the greatest movies ever made.
I'm old, people. The Brandon Routh one, we could forget ever happened.
Okay,
and he lives here in Vancouver now because he was on Legends of Tomorrow.
So the movie was bad. However, I think he did a great job impersonating as the Christopher Reeve Superman.
Because he looked kind of like him, right?
Yes, and he had the demeanor. Like, he did a really good job of mimicking that character.
I'm not knocking his acting, but the movie was terrible.
Oh, absolutely.
And it was 3D for like 10 minutes. Put the glasses on. He's in space now.
Yes.
We got a little bit of 3D action. Take the glasses off. Like, what the fuck?
And then they did the farm scene for some reason. Like, why did you put the grass in 3D? Like,
I have no idea.
Like, what? So Dragon Ball Z is kind of I don't want to say an obsession because it's not, but it's like my favorite thing because growing up, my brothers and I watched it together. So I got the Dragon Balls tattooed on my chest. with the 3-star Dragon Ball in the center to represent me and my 2 brothers.
They all appreciate this thing. Although I lost one of the whiskers.
Nice!
Right, and all the little Dragon Balls are sitting in the front of this thing.
That is awesome. I need one of those.
My little nephew got that for me. When he found out I liked anime and stuff like that, he's like, really? My uncle's really cool. And he got me, I just dropped a Dragon Ball. Damn it. Boy, this thing's dusty, I just realized. Yeah. There we go. That's worse. Okay, that works. Oh, there it is.
All right. Puck is getting upset with me.
Why is that?
Most people wait till the after party to talk about anime for 10 minutes, but no.
Oh, Puck, relax. It's anything goes on this show. You know that. We'll just carry on with those conversations in the after party. So okay.
Actually maybe Puck's upset because I was talking about him. So let me get back to what I was saying.
Okay.
Puck has been tremendously helpful, even though he doesn't see his own value. But being friends with him in a good way is like being friends with a teacher, because literally while I'm doing this and after, I'll get these messages like, okay, so do you want to talk about, you said this, what did you mean by this? Did you investigate this? Where did you go with this? And he's just drilling me, and I'm like, okay, you're right, I didn't think about that, I need to look into that, I'm sorry. And I can literally feel the disappointment or his face palm, even though we're in different states. I can feel him doing it to me, and it cracks me up. But he is a good guy. He's so tremendously helpful to the community, and in many ways, I couldn't do this without him. He's like a support blanket.
Buck is, yeah, sure.
Oh, he's a good guy.
This is kind of an interesting. Isn't it ironic that atheists vehemently deny personal experience? Do you know why? It's not that we deny personal experience. Cafe, I guess. I'm not sure how you pronounce your name. It's personal experience should be questioned, because how do you know it wasn't something in your brain that was doing it?
Yes.
It's like people say, well, I knew because I had this feeling and I felt elation and all kinds of other things, which is generated in the brain. And as a matter of fact, Cafe, they can reproduce those exact same feelings in a laboratory setting now. So if we can trigger the same feelings that your alleged deity can, then how do you know it's not just your brain? And there's nothing to do with any deities. You don't. So that I'm not trying to pick on you or anything, but it was an interesting question. And he goes in how they grew out of a lack of belief. What about atheists that were atheists from the cradle? Right? They grew up with an atheist. They've never really had any deities at all. Like my friend Randolph, his parents weren't believers. And his parents weren't believers. So he comes from a line of atheists. So they grew up without the concept of a God at all. And they're wonderful, wonderful human beings. And they do a lot for their community. And it doesn't take a deity to make that happen. No. I don't need to have a God to want to donate a kidney to save someone I care about's life, right? I don't need to have a God to go to donate blood every 2 months to save people's lives. I don't need a deity to do that. I haven't believed in a deity in a long fucking time.
How long has it been?
Well, I never really believe. I'm one of those weird ones where it's like, okay, there's a God, great, whatever. Maybe I'm atheist in that respect. Like I just don't care. Even if he's real, I'll tell you this: he's got a lot of fucking explaining to do. Hey, God, you got lots of explaining to do. So, Oh, you auto ban? No, you don't have to ban the guy. He wants to have discussions. That's fine. I'm fine with that. As long as he doesn't turn into fucking Dawkins, that Darth Dawkins or Duncan Atheism, as he likes to call himself now. Ooh, Duncan Atheism. Is that supposed to be scary, Darth? It's not working.
I'm sorry. I still, to be clear, best name, I didn't bring him up. But since he brought him up, I do want to talk to the guy. I really, really do.
No, you don't.
Everyone says that, but you know what?
You'll be hitting yourself in the head with a plank for weeks afterwards.
Okay. I do get frustrated hearing him, but look, there's always somebody to get through to somebody. And I don't know. I'd like to think that because I approach things in a different way, that maybe he'd be more open. Or maybe I'm just a hopeful idiot and he'll bulldoze through me like the first presuppositionalist debate I had.
Okay, that's fine. Presuppositionalists are pretty much that.
Yeah.
I'm not Dart Dawkins and I don't troll. Okay, well, we'll believe you. We'll believe you, Cafe. I allow people, unless they become a problem, I allow people to state whatever they want in the chat.
You and I are definitely similar then. Like, I don't like blocking people. I don't know. If someone wants to say...
Oh, no. I'll block people when they fucking deserve it.
Well, how would you define deserve it? Could you give me an example?
If they say something that is utterly deplorable, I will.
Yeah, okay.
Like, we should kill all the gay people. Like, fuck you.
Okay.
Lost,
yes.
Right?
Yes,
like
I agree. Question. Has anyone done your deconversion story?
Yes.
Darn it. Missed opportunity.
Name's Jimmy. Well, hello, Jimmy. Welcome to my chat. You're welcome to discuss this kind of thing with theism and epistemology all you want with the folks in the chat. And I might address something from time to time, but generally I like to focus on my guests, which is Ethan here, who's from the Friendly Neighborhood Atheist channel. You should maybe check out his channel, see what he has to say about stuff.
You should. If you're looking for more of the intellectual side...
Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Atheist Roundtable.
Atheist Roundtable. So I just found out about them the other day, and I feel bad because I was holding an Atheist Roundtable, and someone was talking about it, and I thought they were talking about my Atheist Roundtable, and then I found out it was a channel. I was like, oh, okay, I got to check them out.
The man, the myth. Oh wait, it's just a Canadian heathen. See, people like Cafe. I always ask them, what was it that convinced them that deities of any kind exist, right? Clearly, most of the Abrahamic folks tend to lean to there's one God. But I wonder if they know, because if you go back far enough in time, like around the time where Zoroastrianism was still a thing, the original Jewish or Hebrews, I guess we'll say, because I was raised Jewish, so this is stuff that I actually looked into. They had a pantheon of gods. And Yahweh, the Yahweh that we now know, wasn't even the top of the chain. Him and a couple other deities had to work their way up there by wiping out, like by killing the head guy to become head. Yeah.
Well, that's messed up.
Yeah. Well, dude, gods are created
by man
in our image, and if you go back to that time frame, we were tribalistic, we were warlike, we were dominant. So of course our gods are going to be dominant. They're going to, females must submit, which is the way it was back then. They were the embodiment of our rage, of our controlling, of our strength, of our wars, of everything. They were the embodiment of what we used to believe. And it was realistically, it's an evolutionary trait. It's for survival. Because if you weren't strong and you weren't able to convince people to follow you, then you weren't going to make it very long.
That's true.
Right? So you had to come up with these. My deity's bigger than your deity. Oh no, my deity's bigger than your deity. Well, mine's omnipotent. Oh fuck, you got me there. Elevated. At one point, gods were walking around with people and saying hello and howdy do and drinking beers with them, and then all of a sudden they were in the woods and nobody saw them. And then all of a sudden they were up on mountains. Nobody could see them anymore until we conquered mountains. Oh, wait, there's nobody up here on Olympus. What are they talking about? Then they were in the sky. Well, no, now they are in the sky. And so now we invented airplanes, and now we don't see them in the sky. Oh no, now they're outside of our space-time. Well, then who fucking cares? Because it only matters if you're in my space-time. Well, if you don't exist in this space-time, then you don't exist. You require coordinates to exist. It's that simple.
No, and then
hey, Cafe's all right. Likes deep Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, see,
we can talk to people like that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't not talk to believers. I have many friends that are believers, and we don't really delve into it that often. We just talk about music or cars or other things that we're interested in. MCU.
Right?
We talk like you and I are talking right now, just talking about stuff.
And by the way, we haven't covered DC yet, so we may have to cover that.
Well, we mentioned Batman.
Okay, well, yeah. All right.
Batman and Constantine, so that's good enough.
Well, the Arrowverse, big fan.
Oh yeah, I do. Have you watched Stargirl yet?
No, is it good?
There's 2 episodes out. Yeah, it's really good.
Sweet, I will have to check it out.
She's kind of a newer character in the DC universe, but I think she came along after the Crisis thing. So, but
yes, Crisis was awesome.
Well, she found her I think was it her grandfather or her uncle? I can't remember. She found the staff that he had and she used it and she became Stargirl. So, yeah.
Well, I will definitely have to check it out.
Yeah, very good. It's very good. And they just the first episode of Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. came out, the new season.
Yeah, I started watching it and then I got distracted.
I hate it when that happens.
Yeah, it happens to me a lot lately. I'll get messages from Puck asking if I've watched a video yet, and I'll be like, I'm sorry, I haven't watched it yet.
No spoilers, god damn it. All right, let's get back to the story here because we only got about a little under 10 minutes left, and we're going to get into an after party where we can talk all we want about movies and comics.
All right, sounds good.
And fun stuff.
I'm trying to think of what I haven't covered yet. I'm sure there. Okay, if I could, it's not just applying critical thinking skills that really also made me a happier person. Because yes, I was always happy-go-lucky, but I had my conservative hang-ups. Like, for example, I used to be very, very pro-death penalty. That mob mentality. Yeah, let him burn, without actually thinking about or understanding. So
finish your sentence because I have a little to add to that.
I feel like atheism got rid of that obsession with just wanting people to pay. Like, it's funny now, I'm more interested in turning the other cheek as an atheist than I was as a Christian. Like,
funny how that works.
I think that makes no sense, but
no, my God, no. I have what's it? That cartoon with the kid, the religious family kid. Turn the other cheek. Turn the other cheek. What the fuck was that called?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, it was claymation. It was a spoof of Davy and Goliath, which was an old claymation show done by I think the same creators of Gumby.
Oh, okay.
But come on, it's on the tip of my tongue.
I don't know.
It's on Adult Swim. It's shit. Moral Oral.
Don't know it.
You haven't seen Moral Oral? Fuck,
no.
Watch Moral Oral.
Yeah.
If you can get the Adult Swim channel, it's on there. It's fucking funny as shit.
I will definitely have to check it out.
It's just hilarious. His dad just cracks me up. He's always in his library, fucking getting shit faced every night because he just hates life, right?
No wonder you like him.
I can identify, but I don't hate life. I love life, right?
Oh, so. I can tell. we need more happy atheists. We got to.
I love beer. Does that work?
Well, I love weed, so we're good.
Beer, weed, I love it all, man. You only go around once, people.
That's
As a matter of fact, and if you don't believe me, just ask the cosmologist / physicist Sean Carroll. He's got a whole book on that. How afterlife is actually impossible in the realm of science.
Really?
Yeah. It's according to physics, it's impossible. First of all, we got to get people to define what a soul is. What is a soul? What is it? Like, what happens to it when you die? Is it energy? Yeah, see? Agnostic Pagan Mother knows what I'm talking about. Moral Oral is the shit.
I'll have to check it out. I have no idea what that was or what that is.
Right? DMT. DMT is interesting. It makes you see things really weird. It's bizarre. I've done it once and I don't really think I need to do it again to know. Because now that I know, I'm like, I'm good. But what was I saying? Oh.
Moral Oral. How I became happier atheist. You said you had something to say on that? Like, I now turn the other cheek as an atheist versus.
Yeah, no. There was something well after that. Anyways, it'll come back to me.
Yeah. So, dude, the best thing I could say is it's like one of the best things that happened to me because, I mean, now, for instance, like if you would have told me 4 years ago that I was going to a Black Lives Matter protest, would not have believed it. Never in a million years would I have gone to one of those protests. And now it's like, well,
that's what I was talking about. The soul. That's what I was talking about. What is a soul? Right?
Oh, yes.
What's it made of? What's it comprised of? Is it your consciousness? Because it can't be your consciousness, because when your brain dies, which happens about 30 minutes after you die, it's gone. No more consciousness. After brain death, you have no more consciousness. And there's no evidence to say that it somehow leaves, right? People,
Well, there is that old study from how many years ago where the body was like a kilogram less in weight after it died. I mean, later they found out the study was total bullshit, but I still find Christians try and reference that, and it's like
the 21 grams. The 21 grams.
Yeah, 21 grams.
It's a load of shit.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
If you really want, it's water loss, because it takes a long time for your body to shrivel up and lose its moisture. So there's your 21 grams.
Yes.
There. DMT God. Yeah, my sister had an experience. Cafe's talking about the DMT experience, where you have the DMT God, which I've heard lots about and I've read up about.
I don't even know what the DMT God is.
Most of the people that experience the DMT trip and they think they've seen God, a while afterwards, they come around and go, yeah, that was just a drug interacting with my neuro brain cells. So I don't actually believe that was actually a God. Like 90% of them come back and say that afterwards, a couple of years afterwards. And same with my sister; she did it too.
And how is a heightened emotional state or thought process? How it doesn't make sense. It doesn't connect to something supernatural, right? Exactly. It doesn't. How do we add that supernatural attachment just because, hey, I got really high and saw some things? Like, you're still within your own mind.
Yep, you are. It's still within your own brain. You've just taken a drug. Chances are you're going to hallucinate at some point to some degree. And that's all it is. And your brain can do that without drugs, FYI. A chemical can just be released suddenly, and you'll have this weird experience. You'll be like, well, that was trippy. Oh, I guess my brain malfunctioned for a second. And that's technically what it is. Well, I need to see those studies, because the studies that I've read about that are actually peer-reviewed journals say the opposite to that.
So the one last point I would like to hit on is just that, if for nothing else, like, it really made me a happier person, and because I just stopped being so fixated on people getting what's coming to them. Like, that is such a dangerous mindset to have, and you can see it. How prevalent it is. Like, even today, people constantly making comments like, well, they were protesting, so they got what they deserved. Like, okay, I'm so tired of people saying they, referring to anyone, got what they deserved. Why don't we be more compassionate human beings? So someone did something shitty. Let's show them another way. Let's educate them. Let's show them what they did wrong. But that could go into another tangent, which is cancel culture. And I won't go into that. That shit drives me nuts.
Yeah, I know. Yes. See, this is the problem. It is within your own mind. Okay. I know people describe it as a non-duality type experience, but it is still going on in your head.
Right.
Bottom line, you can't get away from that.
Yeah. And
you're referring to the peer-reviewed evidence. I'd sure like to see if those peer-reviewed journals that you're referring to are on the Clarivate website, which points out the actual legitimate peer review journals.
Kathy, I'm going to make you a deal right now. You send me that study, and if Puck can't pick it apart within 24 hours, I'll give you 50. I'll give you $50. Sorry, $50 American dollars if Puck cannot pick it apart in 24 hours. Puck, you better agree to this, dude. You better agree to this.
Cafe, here's a little bit of a challenge for you. I don't like giving people homework, but if those journals are on this website, then we can talk. Because that's a list of respected journals that actually, because lots of what is it? What's that one
What's a non-dual state?
Non-dual state. It means A lot of people, when they do DMT, they have the feeling that they've left their body.
Right, but that's just a feeling. Right. So how is
that?
Yeah,
it's still all in your head, of course. Right. But poor Puck's like, I'm getting saddled with this shit.
Sorry, Puck.
Everything, no, Cafe, I agree with you. Everything is subjective. Everything is subjective. Right? The only objectivity really comes around when we, as human beings, can subjectively input our opinions on something like, we'll say, a scientific experiment, right. And all of us come up with the same results, the same inferences, the same predictions, and the results are all the same. Then we go, we can agree objectively that it's right. But every person's opinion on something is always subjective.
Right.
Anyway.
Oh, yeah, non-dual state. State or nothing.
That's kind of funny, but it's true. Yeah, where the subjective and objective dichotomy completely dissolves, right? Which is, it's true.
Okay.
A non-dual state, a state without lots of farm trucks. What? Leave it to Doorknob Head to bring in some laughter. Anyways, regardless of that, all the stuff that happens, whether you're on DMT, LSD, PCP, whatever drug you choose, your drug of choice, it's still all going on inside your brain because it can't be anywhere else. Right? That's why I'm like, well, what's the soul? What do you call a soul? Like, is it your essence, your being? Then what's it made of? Is it made of some kind of an energy? Well, then what's containing it? Right. Because if it leaves your body, it's just instantly going to dissipate because nothing's containing it.
Actually, I didn't even think about that part of it. I like that. Yeah.
So what's holding it together? And where exactly does it go? If it's just a soul and you don't have a body, is there a heaven and a hell? And if you end up in hell, are you actually going to feel the pain because you have no nerve endings anymore? So these are reasons why I don't believe, just FYI. Because none of this stuff makes any fucking sense.
Okay, thank you. I was just going to say that, but the way you're talking about it, I'm like, okay, is this stuff making sense to him? Because it's not making sense to me. Like,
none of it makes any sense.
And I feel like they just overcomplicate it. Like they just keep adding and adding things on top of another. It's like it really should not be this difficult. It's either there or it's not.
Soul in the original Greek is like, yeah, that I knew. Yeah, I knew. It's consciousness. Sure, but consciousness, and why call it a soul? It's your consciousness, which disappears when you die. We know the part of the brain consciousness comes from. What? No, we know consciousness is real. We can measure consciousness. We know where it comes from. We just don't know why it is what it is.
Kathy,
we're still working on.
To say there's no such thing as a soul is as silly as saying there's no such thing as a consciousness. No, it's not. Saying there's a soul is silly. Like
I don't have a soul. I know that for a fact, but I'm still conscious. Weird.
Yeah, I see no reason to believe a soul exists, or there is a soul, or there's
no valid reason. There's lots of reasons I'll give you, but there's no good reason or valid reason to do. I'd love to talk to Kathy, actually. I can't because myself, Godless Mom and myself are planning a show in the future where we actually talk to theists. And we talk about stuff like this, right? Where does your epistemology come from? Your theology come? Like, why do you believe what you believe? What convinced you? Let's talk about that. I'm not sure. The single study that demonstrates otherwise, I'm not sure what he's referring to.
Do theists ever come to the after party or no? Is it only atheists?
I've had theists in before.
Oh.
Yeah. Funny thing is, we don't really get into that conversation. We just have some fun, right?
Good point.
Regardless of our beliefs, we're still human beings. And
yes!
we enjoy having a good time, right?
Yep. Again, dude, you and I are on the same page.
Yeah. All right, Kathy, I will definitely invite you. I'm not sure if you follow me on Twitter. If you don't, if you're on Twitter and you don't, it's at 604 Atheist. So it's pretty easy. I'm also on Facebook, Neil Bernstein. You can't miss it. It's got my logo spinning with a green background behind it. like a green screen because I can put whatever imagery I want in behind. I'm just fucking lazy and never bothered. So. Can you come to the after party?
Sorry, I threw that out there, not even asking you. I apologize.
Oh no, that's totally fine, man. I don't get upset at stuff like that. We'll have to see because I have already got people that I promised.
Ooh. Who's coming?
Well, Puck, when I had Puck on, I promised him he could come in here for sure. And of course, IQ gets one. Jen Aldrich, if she's there, she's an auto in. People have to do that. Linton T guy says I have an arse soul. That's it. You're not coming to my after party. I'm gonna run. Okay, Andy. Oh, shit! I was gonna see if you want to jump in, but all right, that's fine. Yeah, if I've got room, Cafe, we can have you in for sure. Don't feel like you're being ganged up on. I won't allow people to gang up on you either. Okay, so don't worry about that.
Unless you say we're silly, then might gang up on you.
I doubt it.
I'm kidding.
But if you start threatening us with like hellfire and shit, then I might be like, okay, that technically is a threat. So let's not.
Yes.
Let's not go there. You've heard Cafe? Okay. Well, fair enough.
Oh, I forgot to like the video. I just did.
Oh, you don't have to worry about it till after. Actually, we've gone past the hour. Holy shit, we're 6 minutes past the hour.
I know. I didn't want to say anything, but I didn't want to step on your show.
Okay, thanks, Cafe. Great that you did. That's awesome. All right. Yes, Sassy, then of course there's room. You can join. One theist for 6, 7 atheists. I'm used to it. Poor guy.
All right. Kathy, you find 4 other atheist buds, and wait, 5 other ones. I can fit 6 people on a stream. Find 5 atheists, and you can all come after me.
Well, Doorknob Head, they use it as a threat. Oh, you're going to burn in hell. That's a threat.
Right.
Of course, we laugh at it, but it's like, because, hell is actually physically impossible. So It's okay. I'm not worried about it.
No, I'm the same way. I know it does hurt some people's feelings, but I'm one of the lucky ones where I don't really care if someone says that to me. I've heard worse. Ooh, good question, Critical Cripple. The question is, can you go into a group stream and not talk about religious BS? Good question.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up and get into an after party. I'm going to take a bit of a break, so give me about 10 minutes or so. You know the routine. Ethan, thanks for joining me today. I know we kind of got like totally sidetracked.
I don't care. That's
Marvel and
what I do.
Shit like that. Yeah, me too. It's always fun. But we did get to hear a chunk of your beliefs and how they, changed and amended over the years. I'm pleased that you didn't end up at one of those shitty Catholic schools where the nuns chase you around with a fucking ruler.
Me too.
Right. So you got lucky there. But it was great having you on, man. I've been looking forward to chatting with you for a while because you're high energy and you're the kind of people that I think should have a show. So if you guys aren't surprised, if you guys aren't subscribed to Ethan, who's known as your friendly neighborhood atheist, there are links below. You can do that. If you dig what you see on his channel, please become a patron because we can all use the little extra help. Mind you, I don't tell people this. I've actually never mentioned this before, but most of my Patreon money goes to donation stuff. So
that's awesome.
I don't use it myself. Some of it goes to cover the people that I support, and then the rest of it goes to be honest, the SPCA down the road. It's only like $12-15 at a time normally, but I said, here, guys,
that's awesome.
Cash to do stuff like that, right? So I try to do what I can. I try to give back to the community that I've been a part of my entire life, right? So because they've always been there to help me. That's why I do the blood donations. That's why I was literally going to not necessarily commit suicide, but the chance of dying by donating a kidney to save a friend of mine's life. They just ultimately wouldn't let me. I'm quite altruistic in that sense because let's put it this way, the world won't really miss me, but they'll miss the guy that I was trying to donate. My mom would miss me for sure.
That's not true, Neil. You can think that, but people would miss you.
I mean, that's just in my head. That's just the way. Like, listen, man. Like, he's a cop. He's got 4 kids, a wife, and a mom that lives with him. He's way, way more needed than I am right now. So, I offered, and the surgeon board, but they were all looking at each other like I was fucking out of my skull. You know, you can die, right? I'm like, yeah, I get it. I'm willing to take that chance. I trust medical science. They're all like, is he fucking serious? No, you're not going to do this. I'm like, all right, fuck. I tried, man. I tried. Twice I tried. Oh, well. Anyway. Anyway, we'll wrap this up. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out. I'm always pleased when there's a theist in the chat that is able to have relatively calm, I guess we'll say, conversations with the folks in the chat. Oh, really miss you. I know there's some people that actually miss me. Anyway, but yeah, Ethan, again, thanks, man, for joining me.
Oh, no, thank you. You were the first person to agree to give me. I've had other interviews since, but you were the first person to agree to give me an interview. So thank you.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I feel kind of honored. Well, thanks for doing it with me. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you. I'll see you in a little bit.
You betcha. I'll give you a brand new link for the after party, and guys, expect the links coming to you if you're going to be involved in the after party. Just hit me up on Twitter, send me a message, whatnot, and we'll get that taken care of. I'm going to take a bit of a break. I'm going to go have a cigarette because I'm one of those filthy smokers, and crack another beer. I got one left, I think, in the cooler, so I'll probably grab another one to throw in there. I can go for about an hour and a half because tonight I'm not missing the ribs. I did the Atheist Roundtable show last night and completely foregone. My buddy made ribs yesterday, but he saved me a little rack of them. So I'm going to go for about an hour and a half and then go downstairs and eat my ribs finally. So, yeah.
Oh, no, I apologize. I won't have a lot of time because I have a Black Lives Matter protest stream to go on.
Way more important to my after party, dude. So okay. You hang out for as long as you can and then fuck right off and go do that.
Okay.
And I mean that in the nicest possible way.
Awesome. Thank you, Neil.
All right, you guys. Thanks for hanging out with Ethan and myself. I hope you guys had a good time, had enjoyed the conversation. I know it got a little off my usual. We got really distracted today, but that's okay. It was fun. And until next time, guys, during this pandemic thing, remember, I know it's rough right now, but remember to be well and be safe, and above all, be kind.
Yes.
And until next time, guys, like I always say at the end of these things, like the late, great Christopher Hitchens once said, it's called faith because it's not knowledge. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.